Rik Emmett says guitar and music legend Chet Atkins would never shake your hand with his right hand. There's a reason for that. But he might use that hand to show you what the sound of Nashville is. It's a great story about a legendary guitarist, too, really, on Rock History Music.
Yeah, yeah, better than, yak, yak, yak about my book. Oh, but this is from the book, too.
Chet!
Here's a picture of me and Chet Atkins, 1979, and I was meeting him in his office. And Chet Atkins has a guitar in every corner of every room in the office. Like the RCA building on, Publishers Row in Nashville, he was the landlord. He owned the bill. Because, of course, he was the A&R man who had signed Elvis and stuff. So, Chet was a made man once that had happened with RCA.
What was he like?
Oh, he was incredible. He was the country gentleman is absolutely the right nickname for him, because he kind of had this aw shucks kind of thing. But the stories of him are legion, right? So one of the things that happened the day we were there was when I went to shake his hand, he won't offer his right hand because his right hand is his picking hand. So he reaches across with his left hand and he kind of shakes your hand with his left hand, and you kind of go, what's that all about? But it's because he's not going to give you his right. If you squeezed it too hard, he would not be happy, right? So but another thing about Chet, I love this story, and I heard this just recently. He was a guy said to him, Chet, what is the Nashville sound, man? What is the Nashville sound? And Chet kind of looks at him, and this is that, country corn pone hee-haw kind of thing that he had in him, right? And he looks at the guy and he puts his hand in his pockets and he jiggles his change and he goes, that's the Nashville sound.
Whoa! I thought he was going to say it'll be on vinyl in 15 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, so speaking of Chet, I'm going to show you this one now. This is going to get a frame of its own. This was an album. When I met him that day, he'd signed some pictures for me and, blah, 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 blah. And he goes, is there anything else you want? And he had these albums that he just made. It was called the Nashville Guitar Quartet with Leona Boyd and a couple of his local pals. And they were leaning up against the wall. And I said, do you think I could have one of those? And so he signed it for me. And I don't know if this will show up. It says, to Rik, thanks for wanting this. Because, of course, he couldn't really give these away, right? Like, they weren't selling, because this was just Chet being Chet, doing what, and, this is an incredible record. It's great art, but anyways, thanks for wanting this. So that's going up on my studio wall.
Celebrity is a mask that eats the face, John Updike. And then you had said I was always at war with the mask on my face. But you see, you're that shy kid, and I so related. I was like, I'm riding that thing with you when I read that, and that becomes like the shy kid becomes the movie star, the rock star.
Yeah, and I think that there's a compensating kind of thing there. I think. But it's also, and writing the memoir, was an educational experience for me about myself, because you start to dig into these things and you start to realize, and it's not like I haven't had some therapy of my own in my life. I have, because I was having a lot of, especially when I got sort of into my 60s, towards the end of my touring career, I had so much stress and anxiety, it was clinical. I literally had to be taking medication and stuff. And why is this happening? But I think when you're a kid and you have certain kinds of talents and abilities, the generation that came before us, that was like, oh, okay, so this is how we fix the shyness. We make him use these talents and abilities to come out of himself, to come out of his shell, to, you're going to have to, hey, Rik, you're going to come to church choir practice with me, and you're going to be singing in the choir as a first soprano, a boy soprano. You're going to sing a solo on Sunday. Oh, you're going to be in the Christmas pageant, and you're going to have a lead role and memorize all these lines and be the lead actor and sing a song. And so all of these things were starting to happen to me because I did have the ability to do it, but I didn't want to. It was the last thing I wanted to do. But then now you're getting the training that you go, you put on the mask, you figure out how you do this. And then you get to the point where you go, I know how this works. I'm good at this, you know. Plus, I was good at sports. And sports was all about that thing like, okay, line up for the 50-yard dash. Now you mark, get set, bang. For the next, 5-6 seconds, you are going to absolutely give a performance that is, you're totally in it. You're giving 100% concentration, 100% performance. It's a done deal. Like, you're all in. And so I did that when I played everything: baseball, football, track. I was all in to compete in that moment. I played to win all the time. I played to absolutely deliver peak performance. But this also goes to something else, and that is an aesthetic quality, an artistic kind of creative quality. When I would play baseball, and I didn't care where I played, what position, I liked them all. I was a left-handed catcher a lot of the time because I was the most reliable catcher on the team. So they go, well, you're going to be the catcher, Oh, okay. I was, I could throw it down to second base, from the back of the screen if the pitcher threw it 4 feet outside, which happened a fair bit. So anyways, when I was in the outfield and there was a fly ball, and you're chasing the fly ball down, and it's, this ball is sailing through the blue sky. And, in my mind, I have this kind of, Forrest Gump kind of, I can picture it. Here's the ball in slow motion coming down and falling out of the sky. And here's little Ricky, and he's running, and his glove is outstretched. And there's going to be this moment where the ball is going to settle into my glove. I'm going to meet that ball in flight. I'm going to have given it everything I've got to get there. And it's going to be the most satisfying feeling on the planet Earth. And I don't need an audience for that. I just need the ball floating through the sky, and I need to be running, and I just need the open field and the grass, and I just need the situation. So you apply that to music, apply that to anything in life. Give me the right circumstances, and I'm perfectly happy to have the performance thing happen. Because it's the way I'm wired, that aesthetically, I'm going to be so happy with that achievement in that moment, and music is totally like that. It floats in the air. It only happens in this moment, here, now, this is what, so you got to bring it to this moment. You've got to become the music, and so now it's a mask of a whole different nature. There's masks we put on, there's masks that get put on us, but there's also masks we're perfectly happy to go, yeah, give me that music mask, man. Give me these security blankets here. I love them, and I will go there, and I'm, I'm content, So now you're kind of divided. There's this guy inside you that's shy, but there's also this guy that's perfectly willing to, cut his hand off in order to make it happen. And of course, you've got now a circumstance where you're surrounded by folks that are going, yeah, you're great. You do this, or yeah, no, you're terrific. Hey, can I have this, please? Hey, can I? And you're doing an interview with John, and he's going, hey, let me ask you this. And so you're delivering because you are who you are, and you've done what you've done, and so the mask is something that you go, yeah, I'm 100% comfortable. It ate so far into my face that it is my face now. That's who I am. The mask is me, and you go, yeah, well, can I come to terms with that? Because it wasn't me, originally. There's parts of me inside that's not me. But you go, buddy, just make life simple. Own the mask. You helped make it. You helped shape it. You picked out the colors, and it's true. Like, being the guitar player in Triumph, was that really me? I think it was way more me when I was, way long after, when I was going out and playing acoustic duo tours, because before I was ever in Triumph, I was going and playing coffee houses and playing, half-assed versions of Malagueña by Roy Clark that I'd seen on Hee Haw, like I watch him on TV and you hear that and I figure it out by ear and I go, hey, I could do this Thursday night at the coffee house on my nylon string guitar. This will probably go over really good. So it's another mask, right? Really, it's another thing. But anyways, was that me? I think that was more me than the guy that was, standing in a hockey arena with 17,000 people going, frunk, 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 frunk.
That's interesting. It's an interesting. You know what? I always think I was told earlier on, because I was so nervous introducing bands, because we know we're the bottom feeders of entertainment. There's like 15,000 people, and we're on there, and they're going, "Get off the fucking stage, radio guy." We know they're all thinking that, but that's a bad way of thinking it, because you got to own whatever you do. But someone once told me, "You're not. It's not what you think it is." I said, "What, stage fright?" He said, "But it's not really what you think it is, because." Not that long from now, you're going to be a guy who doesn't think twice about doing that. A little nerves, it's good, it's happy, it's healthy. But he says, you realize, because I kept saying, there's no time and space with this guy. I knew we were talking about all this metaphysical stuff. And he says, you can't connect with that guy? And then one day, Ray McGuire, backstage at a Trooper concert, comes up to me and he says, he notices I'm nervous. And I'm going, oh, fuck, it makes it worse, making it worse. He comes up to me and I'm going, oh no, he's coming up. He's going to talk about, because he can tell I'm nervous to introduce the band. He said, how did you feel when you went in front of the class? And I'm going, oh, this is making it worse. When you were a kid. And I said, well, he said, how did you feel when you sat down? I said, well, I wanted to get back up and do it over again. And he looked at me and he says, well, I look forward to you introducing us for a second time. And it blew my mind. I'm going, it's all these tricks. Like you're in the church. It's all these little blocks that lead to you know what rock stars always say. I hate to call you guys rock, but musicians always tell me they're going. You ask the typical. Oh, could you ever imagine this would have happened to you in your life? It's such a typical question, but it's true. If someone would have whispered in your ear before you got into church, oh, by the way, you're going to do all these things, your freaking brain would explode. Steps.
Yeah. First of all, you mentioned Ray McGuire, and I always liked him. I always thought that guy was really cool and really together, and they had some great hits too, man. Wow, they had, and of course, one of my favorite stories from Gil was that he was at some big thing like a Walk of Fame dinner or something, and some guy is up making a speech, and it's a big person. It's like I can't remember who it was, but somebody sort of big and important, a celebrity. And then he's doing one of those things where he's looking around the room and he's seeing people and he's going, oh, and it's great. We've got this guy here tonight. I loved you when you were in MacGyver. And and he goes, oh, and we've got Gil Moore from Trooper here. Fantastic. Love that band Trooper there, Gil.
Oh no!
Okay. Bands that start with TR,
Oh, that's
Rik Emmett's autobiography, Lay It on the Line, is available now. There are links at the very top of the description where you can pick it up. Also, if you want to make a donation to the channel, there's a PayPal link, and you can join our Patreon and get early access to all our videos. Remember, like our videos, comment on them because we read all the comments. Subscribe to our channel, that always helps. Like the videos and share them on social media. This is John Bowden, more from Rik Emmett in the next 2-3 days on Rocky Street Music. Take care.